Welcome to another edition of Inside Guyana. Happy New Year to our viewers of this program. We want to say that we had a wonderful, eventful 2015, and we're looking forward to having an even more successful 2016 year. I want to take this opportunity to, on behalf of the management and staff of ITV, our camera crew here led by Ravi, and our producer Prakash, and all the other members of the management and staff of ITV studio here in Long Island City, to wish you a happy new year and thank you for being kind viewers of our programs. We look forward to working with you and cooperating with you for all occasions in future. So today, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to welcome some other special personalities. As you know, on this program Inside Guyana, we have been interviewing mainly prominent Guyanese who have made contributions to Guyana and Guyana's development. And we continue to do that in the year 2016. Unfortunately, we're starting off the year 2016 with not the best of programs, but the best of personalities. So we can't have it both ways. We're going to be talking about unfortunate situations and how people can be helped during times of sadness. So on behalf of our cameraman Ravi and our producer Prakash here at ITV studio, please join me in welcoming to our program the prominent medical doctor from Guyana, our special guest here today, an oncologist. He's based in Georgetown, Guyana, Dr. Carl Niamatali. Welcome to the program Inside Guyana, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rudy Jadoopat. Happy to be here.
Thank you. And with him, there is another special Guyanese personality in the studio. Her name is Vadis McKenzie from Linden, Guyana, originally. She's residing now in the United States of America. And Vadis McKenzie is the Federal Director of Meadow Rest Memorial Funeral Services in Brooklyn, New York. So, Vladis, welcome to the program Inside Guyana.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jadoopat. Happy New Year to you also, and to all your viewers out there. Thank you.
Well, before we go into the actual interview, please permit us to share with you a little clip that we have to share with you that was brought from Guyana about the services that are being provided, some new kinds of services.
Memorial Gardens and Crematorium has just made parting with your loved ones affordable, compassionate, and environmentally friendly. At our state-of-the-art computerized crematorium, we will take care of all the documentation for cremation. Within 4 hours, relatives will receive the remains of their loved ones in a suitable urn. Our package includes pickup and cold storage, a modern hearse, a U.S.-trained mortician to do embalming, and a senior mortician with 25 years experience. Also available an organist and book of condolence. Once you choose Memorial Gardens and Crematorium, we have a chapel to accommodate 150 persons and a Hindu temple for 250 persons. We ensure all religious rites, traditions, and customs similar to an open-air cremation are maintained and respected. We are on call for you 24 hours daily to bring you solace.
In our studio, we have one of the co-founder and co-owner of Memorial Gardens Funeral Home and Crematorium, Dr. Carl Niamatali. Doctor, on our program Inside Guyana, we're always fortunate to get our viewers to say a little bit about themselves. Today, it is your turn to please look at our viewers and tell them a little bit about yourself, your background, where were you born, probably, how did you become a medical doctor and all of that stuff?
Well, I'm originally from New Amsterdam, but I now live in Georgetown and work in Georgetown. My journey into medicine is long and a little bit complicated, but I graduated in Europe, Galway University Hospital. I've been back in Guyana for over 25 years working. mainly in internal medicine and oncology. So I'm happy to be here to talk about this new project that we started just 2 years ago. We recognize that in Guyana, there was a problem in terms of disposing of the dead, specifically because a lot of people were interested in cremations, and not everyone was happy with the traditional form of cremation, which is the open air cremation. So along with my partner, Lolita Bejnot, who is based here in New York, we decided to build a crematorium. And we were fortunate to get a site in Lurapentier, which is the big cemetery in the heart of Georgetown. And that's an ideal location because in most countries, crematoriums are located in cemeteries. It was built after a couple of months and it's now fully operational. And we're very happy to provide this service.
And Ms. Vadis McKenzie, can you please tell our viewers a little bit about yourself? What were you doing, in Guyana before you came to the United States? Probably might want to say a little bit about your schools that you attended. And who are some of your famous friends?
Well, I was born in Guyana, Linden, Wisma, Second Alley. Hello, Second Alley people. And I grew up in Georgetown, matter of fact. And as a young girl, at the age of 10, I came to the United States. And basically, I was back and forth between Guyana and here. But unfortunately, I didn't get all of my schooling in Guyana. I came here and I did my schooling here. I went to college here for mortuary science, and that's to become a licensed embalmer. And I did that about over 15 years ago. So now I am practicing both here and also in Guyana as a licensed embalmer.
Thank you very much for that brief introduction. Now, Dr. Niamatali, what made you feel that you should go into this type of business operations?
Well, Dr. Rudy, the reason is that I like to look at what's happening in Guyana and determine what are some of our great needs. And this was a really important project. And as I said, we've been in operation just over a year now. We have a full service. We offer funeral service. We offer cremations, embalming, and we have several packages. When people have a loved one who has passed away, they're usually totally stressed out. They're grieving, they're sad, and it's a difficult time, and we recognize that. What we have done is put together a very professional team with a lot of expertise who are capable of meeting people, greeting them, offering them the support and empathy during this difficult time. So we would reach out to them and offer them our services. We offered various packages.
I see you have in that little ad that was played just now, like the chapel, the Hindu temple area.
Yes.
And so on. So what are can you elaborate a little bit more of the types of facilities
Right.
you have there?
Well, we recognize, as you know, Guyana is a multicultural, multi-denominational country with Christians, Hindus, Muslims. So we have set up this project catering for all religions and all faiths. Christians, we have a chapel, as was demonstrated in the short ad, which is a church, and we have a full service. We even have a bell tower. We have an organ with an organist to play whatever music is required. We have video facilities. We even provide a pastor if a pastor is not available. And we have, so we offer Christian services. We recognize also that people may not be able to come, not everyone is able to travel back to Guyana for a service for various reasons, and they may be scattered all over the world. As you know, Guyanese people are all over the world. So we also have Skype services whereby if the relatives wish to allow other members of the family and friends, they can watch the whole funeral service on Skype. In other words, we've entered the 21st century as far as this is concerned. And so that's the Christian part. We also have a Hindu temple. And as you know, traditionally, Hindus are not allowed to take their loved ones to temple, unlike the Christians and Muslims, because this is not allowed. So for the first time, Hindus can take their loved one who have passed away to our Hindu temple and have a full service with all the customs, all the rites, and all the traditions. And we've had a very good response to date. We've had over 100 cremations done in the short space of time. We also do funeral services. We have a flat screen television where the family can sit in comfort, either in the chapel or in the temple, and watch the whole process in the crematorium. So people are very happy on the whole with the services that we offer. We also, at this difficult time, we make all the arrangements for the cremation. We take care of all the paperwork with the Ministry of Health and all the various agencies. So we take all the stress off the family where that is concerned. We can also print programs, we print photographs, we do a book of condolences, we help them to set up the program, and we order flowers and wreaths and whatever is required. For Hindus, we offer a full range of all the services, so the family doesn't have to kind of run around Georgetown looking for various things that are required for the service. And in fact, the Pandits are very happy going around in the crematorium, doing all the rites, observing all the customs and traditions, same as an open air cremation, except that it's a lot more convenient and totally acceptable to a lot of people who attend this service. So that in a nutshell is what we offer.
Dr. Niamatali, you mentioned the chapel, you mentioned the Hindu Mandir part. You didn't say anything about our Muslim brothers and sisters.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you asked about that. We have a full service and great cooperation with the CIOG, Central Islamic Organization of Guyana. And as you know, Dr. Jadoopat, Muslims do not traditionally cremate their loved ones. So we do. We have a contract with CIOG.
What is CIOG?
Sorry, Central Islamic Organization of Guyana. Okay. So we offer full range of service with CIOG. We do all the picking up, the cold storage. We'll do embalming for CIOG as is necessary, and we work in close cooperation with them. So we service all the major religions, and we're there to help people as is required. We have a modern fleet of horses as well, and we also do post-mortem at our facility. So if we pick up a body, the post-mortem can be done right there. The funeral service is all arranged there instead of going back and forth to Georgetown Hospital, which is a big advantage for loved ones. And our facilities that we offer, along with the expertise, is really the best quality that's available in Guyana, in my opinion. And I'm very modest about it.
I think it's a very big and positive step for Guyana and Guyanese generally. So the first modern state-of-the-art crematorium in Guyana is, I think, is a commendable project. And I want to say this to you directly, and I'm sure our viewers out there will be able to do the assessment. They will ask their relatives and get a feedback, and we'll let you know if they're happy or not. So
Well, so
make
far,
no mistake, doctor.
so far, we've had no complaints really.
Yes.
The other part of the project involves also the importation from the U.S. And other countries of remains of loved ones who have passed away, and we are involved in that, and also the export of remains to the United States and Canada, and that's where my
Right, this
good
is
friend
where I
and
think
colleague
Vadis
Vadis
McKenzie,
comes in,
yeah.
and she can tell you a little bit more of
Yeah,
that.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. I am sure Vadis will have to answer a lot of questions here today. Can you embalm living people?
No, I wouldn't try. I would
Okay.
not. I would not try that.
Okay, okay.
I would not do that to
Uh,
anyone.
Can you tell us a little bit about the, let's say a Guyanese passed away in unfortunate circumstances in the United States. He migrated and he had this desire, like in quite a number of cases, to go and rest in peace in Guyana somewhere. Do you only do crematorium? You only cremate the body, or you can also get the relatives in the United States to pass the body over to you, and then you take care of all the arrangements here in the United States and forward the body down to Guyana and for burial also, as well as cremation? Can you tell us a little bit of
Yes,
some of that
definitely.
process?
Thank you. Yes, definitely. If someone dies here, they can be embalmed. They must be embalmed to be shipped overseas to any country, whether it be Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad, anywhere, any part of the world. They must be embalmed, placed in a sealed casket, and shipped overseas. Vice versa with coming from Guyana. If someone from the U.S. go home to Guyana and died in Guyana, then they must be embalmed, placed in a sealed casket, and sent overseas. But in lieu of that, all documentation must be accompanied with the remains, and also they must be obtained from whichever country you're in. So that's where the funeral home comes in. You get in contact with the funeral home, whether here or in Guyana, Memorial Gardens in Guyana, Medaris Memorial here, and you basically let us know your desires, and that's what we try to do: bring comfort to the family, fulfill the family's desires, whether they would like to be buried, cremated, and also shipped. So we take care of any type of disposition.
So, as I understand it, there is a relationship between Memorial Gardens Funeral Home and Crematorium in Guyana and Meadow Rest Memorial Funeral Services here in Brooklyn, New York.
Right. The coalition comes because of myself.
Okay.
I do offer assistance to Medaris Memorial Gardens in New York here, and also I do the embalming for the funeral home in Guyana, because there's just a few funeral home in Guyana that allows for exportation of human remains. And Memorial Gardens is one of the few funeral homes that is allotted to ship remains to the United States or any part of the world.
I would imagine that this is not a very simple process, and there might be a lot of intricacy here. What are some of the difficulties that you would want to disclose to our viewers today?
Well, for me personally, I see everyone and their situation as not so much of a difficulty, but something that it's a difficult time. And it's a time where that person needs help. And that's where we as a funeral home, funeral director comes in. We try to assist that person in minimizing that grief, and we try to do our best in their difficult time, just bring comfort. So although it's a difficult time, we try not to make it so much on our part. We still try to move forward and get the family to where they want to go, whether it be cremation, burial, or being shipped back overseas. So we work more on trying to eliminate the difficulties for family, because it's already a difficult time, and we try to work with them.
So you do also provide the transportation services, because let's say you have to fly the body from United States to Georgetown and from Georgetown to United States. Do you provide that transportation arrangements as well?
I can answer that question.
Okay, Doctor.
Dr. Rudy. The mechanism and the requirements for exporting a body, let's say from Guyana, which we've done several times, to the United States, there's a lot of regulations that are required. And it starts from the family contacting us in Guyana or from overseas, and then we take it from there with all the support that Vadis has mentioned. And what we do essentially is we handle all the paperwork, and there's a lot of paperwork, which involves the Ministry of Health, which involves the Central Board of Health, Port Health Authority, getting original death certificates, ensuring that there's liaison with the respective embassies, the U.S. embassies, or whichever embassy is involved, and getting all the paperwork done, making sure that everything is done, all the embalming certificates are there, permission is obtained, and then you have to get in contact with the airlines. And so there's an enormous amount of paperwork and thing to be done, which we have become quite expert at now after several of these. But Vadis provides, with our local staff, exceptional service at a difficult time, to get this done.
Doctor, do you have attorneys also involved in this process?
No, we try to keep attorneys as far as possible because we don't want to complicate things. But we have available legal expertise if we do. As you know, people in my profession tend to have friends at all different levels. They call on us for help whenever they need it.
Okay, maybe you have attorneys that you want to cremate also.
Well, everybody
die.
deserves a fair shake of this thing.
If they choose to, right?
Dr. Rudy, everybody does. I mean, there's the old saying, everybody is born, everybody dies.
Yeah, that's
And, we also recognize that in providing a quality of service that is very supportive of people during this difficult time is important, because the grieving process is important, which brings closure to the life of the family. And it's not so much about death in a lot of cases, it's about the celebration of a well-lived life of someone. And people look forward to that. And, our job is to make this as easy as possible. We take the responsibility, and we take it very serious, to delivering a high-class quality service to people.
Providing this kind of service would certainly be linked to the availability of electricity, which has to be used to power the refrigeration systems in such facilities. How do you cope with the electricity supply problems in Guyana and your refrigeration services?
Well,
do you have backup generators and all of that?
That's a very good question, Dr. Rudy. And fortunately, we've had good electricity services over the last year. We have had, from time to time, we've had blackouts, but we have backup electricity service. And in terms of the cold storage, we have now got a second cold storage facilities, and we're planning to use solar panels to provide electricity, because after all, this is a green project. If you look at the traditional cremation process, the open air cremation, which is still requested by some people, this new cremation process in a modern crematorium, just like you have in the US, fulfills all the criteria for a green project. With the Paris Conference on Climate Change, the whole world is looking now towards a green environment, clean environment, where we reduce our carbon footprint. So this is one way of also saving the rainforest, which is important. One of the problems is, cutting down the rainforest, using it as fuel, and then When you burn the cremation in an open air setting, it produces greenhouse gas, CO2. And as a medical oncologist, I am also concerned about people who gather around the funeral pyre and, they can breathe in the smoke and the gases, which can have consequences later on. So I'm very proud of the fact that this is a green project. This is in keeping with the mandate of the government, the previous government, and this government, and in terms of supporting this project. So I'm very happy that we're heading in the right direction.
Do you have any plans to, let's say, increase the number of crematoria in this facility around Guyana? Because you have one, you said, only in Georgetown. What about Essequibo and Berbice?
That would be something for us to consider down the road as things move forward and as it becomes more acceptable. Because the interesting thing is that we cremate as many Christians as we do Hindus. And a lot of Christians now are opting for a preference of cremation as opposed to burial. We still have burial services, and we're involved in that as well. So it's a full service that we offer. The interesting thing is that we've also been approached with regards pet cremations, which is very interesting, and so we're looking at that. But we would be happy to provide and extend the services to other parts of Guyana. In fact, Guyana was one of the few countries in CARICOM that did not have a modern crematorium. So again, as I mentioned, this is one of the reasons why we thought this was an important project.
Dr. Niamatali, do you have a website that our viewers can go to access your services and additional information?
Yes, in fact, we do have a website, and we have some brochures, and I'm hoping our producer will put up some of those pictures. It's Memorial Gardens with the number. We're on Facebook, and so if anyone wants to contact us, we're very happy to answer any questions and provide any services that we can to the public.
Okay. Now, Vadis, you seem to be very quiet. I
you.
know you're alive and you're not embalmed yet. I'm sure our viewers out there, Guyanese, they're very superstitious people also.
Always.
And they probably would want to find out from you if you get scared when you deal with these dead bodies.
Well, my philosophy...
Do you ever see any of the dead body wake up and move?
Not yet. I think I would move before them. But my philosophy is that, and my family and friends do laugh at me when I say that, I didn't kill them so I could sleep well at night, and it's just all bringing comfort. It was such a pleasure to meet Dr. Carl and working along with him and seeing that he had a vision and a structure for Guyana. And it was such a blessing to be in his midst and assist him with his project in terms of, helping grieving families. And he does a wonderful job. I hear it I'm in New York, and I hear of the good works that he has done in Guyana, also the staff down in Guyana. So I'm just reaching out to our Guyanese people out there and just let them know to support our businesses, especially the new projects that are coming up. We're still accustomed to other funeral homes in Guyana, but always look out for something new and help support our new funeral home in Guyana, which is located in the heart of the burial ground La Pantier Cemetery in Georgetown.
Well, you probably know I'm an economist. I deal with counting of money and making sure that we have a profit at the end of the day, or else our future will be in jeopardy. On that note, I would like to ask you to explain to our viewers the financial aspects of this operation and how competitive your pricing is with, let's say, other institutions, similar institutions.
I'll let Dr. Carl answer.
Well, we have a package, or we have a number of packages. Different people would have different requests. And we have a silver package, which is a basic package. We have a gold package and a platinum package. So it depends on what services the family would like to access. And we are among the cheapest, and there's a lot of latitude that we have in terms of assisting people at this difficult time. And it all comes down to the support they get from us, the quality of service, and in terms of the embalming, it is absolutely superb. And we're very happy to have Vadis work with us because she has a great deal of expertise, much more than her youthful appearance, a youthful and attractive appearance, I should say. So she does a wonderful job. We have great staff in Guyana. And Dr. Rudy, you mentioned just now about whether Vadis was afraid of the dead. Miss June, June Williams, who is the chief mortician in Guyana, she addresses this. She says, "Doc, you don't have to be afraid of the dead. It's the living that you should be worried about." So I guess that answers your question. But it's a time when people are stressed out, they're grieving, and at the end of the whole process and the whole service, whether it's a Christian or a Hindu service, the family are very happy. And that makes us feel that this is worthwhile. So the question is, in terms of funeral services, it's very affordable, whatever you want, and then invariably we will add certain things that we don't charge for, because everything is not about money, but it's important that we pay the bills and pay our staff and pay the banks as well. But the thing about it is that we're there to meet the needs and expectations of people during this time.
So it's services with dignity, integrity, and low financial responsibility.
Yes, but you know, some people also want everything, and we're happy to provide that for them because they feel that their loved one deserves that, or that's what they want, and we're there to help.
Do you extend credits?
We have never been asked to extend credit, and but it's something that has never arisen.
Okay.
I think people want to go to heaven on a clean sheet, Dr. Rudy. They don't want to leave any.
They go to heaven before they reach your funeral. Is there a price range you would want to share with our viewers, or it's so so?
It can be for a cremation. It's about just over $400. Less than $450 for a cremation.
Oh.
In Guyana, so which we feel is very reasonable.
And a cremation here.
So that's less than 100,000.
Yes, it is.
Guyana dollars?
85,000 Guyana dollars.
Wow.
And so
that's
if
for the whole cremation
that's
process?
and that includes all the paperwork and all the support and everything.
Oh, that's very cheap.
So that's what
You
it
can't
is.
even buy the suit of the dead person for that price over here, I guess.
I'm not sure, Dr. Rudy, what type of suit they want, but you know, that's what it is. So we have a package for everyone, and we help whenever we can, because at the end of the day, that's what we are there for. We are there to provide the service and to meet the needs and exceed the expectations of the people, of the public.
I think with our viewers hearing that low price, they might be exporting a lot of bodies to Guyana very shortly, because I think in New York, the cost of cremation is
about $1,400.
Yes, it's
minimum.
a lot more than that. Yes.
Yes, and that's without a service at most times.
So what is the most expensive part of this process? The transportation, I guess.
In terms of taking the body back,
yes.
that would be it. You know, And we would, if there's importation from the U.S. to Guyana, we would of course do all the paperwork. We would pick up the remains from the airport, store, have the service, and if it's a cremation or a funeral, we take care of all of that.
Wow, I think
So the family really don't have to be involved at a difficult time,
Right,
and they can stay
providing that.
focused on things. And you know, we also give some grief counseling and support in any way that we can.
I can imagine. These things are very, very.
That's where my medical background comes in.
Yes,
useful.
I think your services will be in demand very soon. I hope not. I hope not many more people will die, and we want them all to remain alive. But you know, unfortunately, we have to go someday.
Yes, to born
And
is to
here you
die.
are with your modern, state-of-the-art crematorium and other facilities providing a wonderful service. I must say that. I'm impressed, and I think it's a wonderful endeavor and project that you've embarked on, and I look forward to seeing your services actually expanded to other areas in Guyana, other locations, and advertise more, because I didn't know about this. So I think with our little interview here today, more and more people will get access to the information available and learn more about your services.
And Dr. Rudy, as you can see from the picture up on the screen, is in keeping with the green environment, we did not cut down the palm tree. So instead, I managed to construct the project around that palm tree, which, as you can see, it's in the middle of the walkway. No trees were cut down.
Wow.
While we did this project, because you know it's important.
It's very good. You have a principle and you're a man of principle, and I think your services will be provided on the basis of very good principles. I want to let you know that we're coming towards the end of our program, and as is customary here on the program Inside Guyana, we would ask our personalities here to just say whatever they want to say without me asking you any question. So you have the opportunity now, Ms. Vadis McKenzie, the Funeral Director of Meadow West Memorial Funeral Services, Brooklyn, New York. So who is associated with the Funeral Home and Crematorium, the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home and Crematorium in Guyana, the first modern state-of-the-art crematorium in Guyana. So tell our viewers whatever you want to tell them, whatever you think is appropriate for this interview. Please look at the viewers in their eyes and address them.
Hello, viewers. I would just like to say to you that it's a very difficult time when someone dies. And when that time dies, I know your mind will be somewhere else and not so focused. But I just want you to know that in case of anyone dying, just take those deep breaths and focus yourself on the type of person that your loved one was, and try to fulfill their wishes as best as possible. When someone dies, we don't know when. However, I'm here to assist you in that. Dr. Carl is here to also assist you in terms of when your loved one died, and we would like for you to utilize our services, especially in Guyana. Guyana needs your help in terms of utilizing the services there. We have great service. If your loved one goes home and dies, they definitely can be returned home to the United States if that's their wish, and definitely Memorial Gardens will be able to take care of that. So whenever you visit Guyana, you can even go on a tour at the Memorial Gardens and you will see what we're talking about. I do ask that you do so. Don't be afraid. As Dr. Carr said, you know, as Ms. June mentioned, that you have to be afraid of the living and not the dead. So please, when you go to Guyana, make sure and remember Memorial Gardens, and let your friends and family know to utilize Memorial Gardens. And it was a pleasure being on the show today with Insight. It was definitely a pleasure being next to Dr. Carl. He's a very busy doctor, very busy man, and it was a pleasure just being amongst the people and the audience out there today.
Thank you very much. And now, Dr. Carl Niamatali, your take, your address or message to our viewers on the program Inside Guyana.
Well, Dr. Rudy, first of all, I wouldn't be here without your kind support and agreement. So thank you for having both Vadis and myself here today. And I'm very happy to have this opportunity to speak to the Guyanese Diaspora and to let them know that Memorial Gardens and Crematorium provide exceptional and affordable services in terms of funeral and cremation. We do a very good job of providing all services which I've listed, and if you need us, we're always there, and we will always treat you with respect, with great dignity, and you will get all the support that you need. So thank you for this opportunity to speak to you and to provide this service if it's ever needed. Thank you.
You've been listening to an interview with Dr. Carl Niamatali and an oncologist who's based in Georgetown, Guyana, and Vadis McKenzie, who is the Funeral Director of Meadowrest Memorial Funeral Service in Brooklyn and is associated with the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home and Crematorium in Guyana. This is Dr. Rudy Jadoopat. On behalf of our producer Prakash and camera crew led by Ravi, we want to say thank you for watching, and once again, welcome to 2016, and we're looking forward to seeing you. Until next time, goodbye.